so you know what you're doing? I think hopefully you know what you're doing. My name is Mr. Johnson, and I serve as a secondary librarian at YSS. And I love being here, but one of the first ones I ran into my first year was just the reality of being in a library as opposed to being in library school. Most of our collection was quite old, but by the end of the year, I said, well, I've been accepted, I'm part of this community, people won't mind if I start throwing out these books. So as I started sorting through the collection, choosing books to get rid of just because they were too old or in really bad condition, I found myself throwing away about 2,000 books. Needless to say, some people were not very happy with me at that point. And of course, in the intervening years, I haven't had to throw out that many books. But probably the biggest adjustment for me, because I'd previously worked in a university setting, was to transition from that to kindergarten story time. Casually helping college kids with research when they needed some help, to crying 5- and 6-year-olds. It was a very difficult transition for me. I had envisioned really doing a lot of research projects, helping older kids as they're looking for information and finding different sources, and coming in and doing story times was rather difficult. Many people think all you're doing is reading a book to some kids. Boy, have you met these kids? Anybody can read a story. It's dealing with the kids. It's difficult if you're not used to it. That first year, those first couple of years were really difficult. So one of the things I started doing pretty quickly was pushing for the idea that we really needed 2 different libraries, 2 different librarians. It didn't happen immediately, but pretty quickly people started buying into the idea that you can't have a space that's comfortable for 17-year-olds and 7-year-olds. But I rejoice in the day that the decision was finally made. We were in this building, we had a lot of extra space. One of our elementary school teachers had asked about the job. The principal said she'd be a great fit. And I, for one, loved not having to do a story time again. It was a bit of a triumph in my life to really not have to deal with that stuff on a daily basis.